Thursday, which means it's time for the most motivational segment in all of sports. Also time where we read a little bit of viewer mail. The year 2024, we get a ton of viewer mails. We have a lot of loyal viewers who love the show. Dear Wildes, love the show. Well, thank you. Why did you say we weren't real last week?
Oh.
We're as real as your chestnut brown hair. It was gray last week, dude. This is our last letter. We're on to JJ and LeBron's show. Good riddance, Ryan and Brian.
Oh,
wow. I accidentally said Ryan and Brian weren't real, and then they came with fire. A real heel turn.
That is a real heel.
I'll tell you who needs some motivation. Ryan and Brian and the whole, whatever their last name is, family.
Wow.
Stay tuned to this drama.
No
that
Cowboys,
is
just a heel
right,
turn?
that's what I'm like.
What's going on here?
Okay.
No
Good to
cow.
know.
Okay.
All right, I guess it's yours, Brew. Take it away.
Well, at number 3, Ryan and Brian. No. This is a legend. Before we go to Steph, legendary Bud list this week.
Wow.
This is probably the most star-studded Bud list ever.
Excellent.
Okay, ever. I mean, it's just straight up legends on this one. Starting with Mr. Steph Curry. I gotta be honest, I'm shocked by how well the Warriors have played this year. All right, I mean, since the All-Star break, they've got the 4th best record in the league. Not just the West, the league. All right, so they're playing well, and I have thought that the dynasty is over. This is the end of it. Gonna end unceremoniously this year, and then they'll move on, let Trey walk or whatever, maybe try to trade Draymond. But there's a way to avoid that. If they make a deep playoff run, 2nd round, maybe conference finals, then they can convince ownership, hey, we're like a piece away. Let's go get the right guy, and then we can still compete, and maybe Clay, Steph, and Draymond are back. The downside, if they go out early, if they go out in the play-in, don't even make the playoffs, it probably is the end of an era. So that is what is on the line for Steph Curry. So, Steph, I do believe in you. Let's see you guys make a run. At number 2, now all of these guys, and I'm going to give you a hint. There are 3 of them, obviously. One of them at least will not make the playoffs this year, even though they are still putting up terrific numbers. All right, that's why they're on the Bud list, because one of them is going to fall short. I don't think it's going to be this guy, but he's number 2, the great LeBron James.
Wow.
All right.
Star-studded.
Yeah, look, and we know LeBron is having the best season ever at this stage of anybody's career, but LeBron doesn't just play for numbers. He plays for rings. He's still chasing that ghost in Chicago. Now, even if LeBron and a smattering of other people believe that he's already caught him, Jay, the one thing that could seal it for him is more rings, plural, rings, all right? And for him to go out there, he's got to go out there and try to get rings, let's put it that way. You got to at least make the playoffs. All right, so they cannot get bounced in the play-in. He's playing with house money, as are all these guys, but still, you get bounced in the play-in, don't even make the playoffs, and it will put a damper on what has been a phenomenal individual season this late in LeBron's career. So, LeBron, I believe in you. And at number 1, this one is has the most on the line, I would say. Kevin Durant. All right, now, like Steph and LeBron, his legacy is sealed. Top 20-ish player of all time. But unlike Steph and LeBron, his winning legacy is complicated. Let's put it that way, right? It's complicated. Some look at it and they put a mental asterisk there. And the fact that, he's a great player, but he's not a great GM. We can all admit that, all right? You go to Brooklyn, put this team together, and I know injuries did you in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I know that better than anybody, but you didn't get anything done there. All right, now you say, I want to go to Phoenix, great team, put it all together, and now you guys might miss the playoffs? And if they miss the playoffs, this will just lead more people to, look funny at the way Kevin Durant has won his rings. And here's the thing, the bar is lowering every year. First, when he went there, it was Oh, championship. Now, then it became, just get to the finals. Then it became conference finals.
Nice. That's a
That'd
win.
be nice. Now it is just make the playoffs. Sorry, the bar's not going any lower. All right, the bar's not going any lower, KD. Again, nobody's asking for a championship. Just make the playoffs, my man. I believe in you. It's the Bud List.
Great Bud List, as always.
It's a legendary Bud List.
Yeah, look, if Ryan and Brian are watching, there's no way they can leave this because it's obviously the best segment.
They watch on YouTube.
Consistently over and over again.
Yeah, this will bring them back.
And it is
Thank
star-studded, and I'm going to another star from the NFL, and it's a star coach. It's Sean Payton.
Ooh.
And how do you know he's a star? You know he's a star because they gave up a #1 for him, and they gave up this year's #2 for him, and they made him the highest-paid head coach in the league, and he's an offensive genius, and they brought him in to fix the problems. And the problem was Russell Wilson. Now Russell Wilson's gone. Then you've got Jerry Jeudy, who was a former first-round draft pick. They were going to fix him. Now he's gone. You've got $67 million in dead money, which is a quarter of your cap, and that's not what they signed up for. They didn't sign up for destruction. They signed up for construction. And so if they didn't win last year and they didn't have a winning record, there's 7 seasons in a row with losing record. And if they don't win again this year, so now we're pushing this into potentially year 3, why not go get DeMeco Ryans or a young head coach if you're going to blow up the whole roster, and don't pay him very much money if that's the route you're going to go. So you've got Harbaugh in the division. You've obviously got to deal with Patrick Mahomes. You've got all these issues. You don't have a quarterback. You've got a ton of dead money, and they've given up so much to get you, and you took some shots at the previous guy who was there. So at this point, you gotta produce at a really high level. When I was with Parcells at the Jets, we took over a team that was 1-15 back-to-back years, and we were in the AFC Championship 2 years later.
No, well done, Coach. Because you mentioned, Parcells, Harbaugh, where he's been, Andy Reid. When these ultra-elite coaches go to places, they turn them around pretty quickly. So, I don't see how they're going to have a good season. But if they don't, like you said, that's not what they brought Peyton in for. So that's a good one, no doubt.
I'm adding Brock Purdy to the Bud List.
Wow.
And I'm sorry. Tom Brady did a recent podcast that came out today.
Oh, this is the heel turn.
Oh, the heel turn.
Heel turn was Ryan.
Well, this is another one. There's 2. You dropped 2
A double
on me.
heel turn?
Yeah, double heel
The
turn.
double was Ryan and Brian. Brock Purdy is on the Bud List. Why, you might ask? Well, Tom Brady was on a podcast with Vic Blends, and he was asked, hey, if anything ever happened, would you consider playing again? Now, the answer that you could give is pretty simple. Nope.
Right.
I'm kind of beyond that. Like, if you ask me, hey, Kevin, I know you were a great ice cream scooper at Ben & Jerry's in Mystic, Connecticut. Do you have any interest in going back? I wouldn't be like, well, if I get hungry for ice cream, I would just be like, no, I don't do that anymore. But Tom Brady left the door open, went through a few teams. He mentioned the Raiders. He mentioned the Patriots. He talked about maybe some amorphous team that was really good if something happened. Now, we're not going to wish injury on anyone, of course not, even talk about it. But you're also a half step away from,
what if he plays poorly?
What if he plays poorly?
Hot seat.
What if he's good but not great? What if he has a little bit of a regression that Coach talks about? There's a little bit more tape. What if you have a little bit of the, had a few too many Coronas at the Super Bowl, called Super Bowl hangover. Well, and Shanahan says, you know what? Let me text you. You up?
Well, the chances of Purdy not playing well are unlikely. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen him not play well in the NFL, okay? That said, maybe a game, 2, 3, whatever. But he's been very good.
Super Bowl.
Good in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very good in the Super Bowl. But look, Tom Brady, he's Tom Brady. No, you'd have to think about it if Brock gets hurt. But like I said earlier, if they're thinking about Purdy as their quarterback for the next 7 to 10 years, then you wouldn't want to do something like this. But Shanahan is desperate for a Super Bowl.
You know what? You could have just been like,
if he
bring him on. He gets even better. He's already so good. He can learn from the GOAT.
I don't think he'll want to go back to the bench.
All right, don't put mine up yet, because this is going to be another heel turn.
Wow. The third heel turn.
So, some advice I was given, or I've heard, I think it's cliche, something if you're at a job. Like, be careful about showing your boss or your coworkers all the things you can do, or else they will expect you to do it. And it is because of that, I have to, regrettably, once again, put Kevin Wildes on the Bud list.
This is star-studded.
Wow.
Why is my hair so gray?
Bro, what is the, I don't know if it's advice, but what do you ask Wildes to do at least 3 or 4 times a week?
It's true.
What do you ask him to do?
Let the tiger out.
Well,
let the tiger
here's the thing, Coach. On Tuesday, Wildes accidentally did. And appears to have been so embarrassed by it, even though it was spectacular, he had it scraped from all interwebs. But don't you worry, America, because I have a cut for you so you can get an idea of what you could be experiencing on a daily basis on First Things First. Play the video, please.
What do we need to get in? That's what I'm asking. That's what it feels like.
So they're all better. Now, all.
What do you want it to be? What should it be then? What should it be? If you don't want it to be Count the Rings, what do you want it to be?
Consistent excellence.
Oh, give me a break. Consistent excellence. It's just nonsense. I'm legit mad about this.
That's great. So by that,
rip my shirt off.
So by that, the Celtics and the Toronto Raptors.
I mean, that's ridiculous. So, that's I look like I'm in the blue man group.
All right. So, Kevin Wildes, you finally did let the tiger out. It was great television.
Because you're like, consistent
excellence. It was excellent. Yeah, there you go.
I'm a high-achieving TJI Fridays manager. We're looking for consistent excellence.
See?
No, man. We're looking for championships.
There you
These
go.
are like, no, Duke is... It's this whole LeBron thing.
It's not a
LeBron thing.
But there
it's
you
this
go.
Andy Reid thing. It's like, oh, yeah, we play the games to win. We play the games to win. And when you get a championship, you're like, wow, Andy Reid is so good because he has these championships.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's as good as Belichick. I'm like, hold on a second. Belichick has literally 3 times as many championships. Like, oh man, it's about consistent excellence.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
That's the tiger.
That's the tiger.
Yeah.
So, Brew,
The ratings
I understand he's the
No one
leader.
likes that.
Once a week, Wildes.
At least
once a week.
Once a week.
We need you to all of a sudden be sweating
Trying to
with
be
anger.
America's sweetheart.
No, well, that's not going to work. Especially
You're the
now with
bad
that
boy.
chestnut hair.
You actually are the bad boy now.
Coming up next, Caleb Williams disses himself. Next up, First Things First. Gosh darn it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.